Welcome to my playlist, Day Trips and Travel, where I show you sights, sounds, and scenes from my travels and adventures as an urban naturalist. Today, you'll be joining me on a solo adventure trip to the island of Vieques in Puerto Rico. Before we get started though, go ahead and hit like and subscribe and share this video with others. Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory located in the Eastern Caribbean. The territory consists of 3 main islands, plus several smaller islands. On this trip, I explored the island of Vieques, which is just east of the principal island of Puerto Rico and accessible by ferry or by a short plane ride from San Juan. Well, made it out of the snow, and I have my layover at Miami Airport, getting ready for my final leg of my trip to Puerto Rico, where I'll be alone on an island. Well, good morning from San Juan on the main island, the capital of Puerto Rico. I'm going to be glad to get out of the hustle and bustle of the city today. I have a short plane ride over to La Isla de Vieques. All right, here we go. Well, I just checked into my hotel on the island of Vieques. I'm here at the Seagate Hotel, and I'm gonna waste no time. I'm gonna go hit up some beaches and see what's up on this beautiful island. Well, I just arrived to my first beach, La Playa Negra, and I had quite a ride in my Jeep on a bumpy road. It's raining a little bit and I forgot my raincoat, but it's okay. I'm ready to check it out, do some birding. You can grab my binoculars, GoPro, walk my first beach. Here goes nothing. I'm alone on an island. Well, I'm taking some time to relax here at Playa Punta. The beach is rather small and narrow. I had to walk in the water. It's been raining, so I'm just kind of sitting on a palm tree right now, a coconut palm, relaxing and enjoying the scenery, and waiting out some of the passing showers. So what's interesting is, when you think of the Caribbean, you think of coconut palms. And I'm sitting on a coconut palm that's leaning out over the water. Believe it or not, before the year 1600, coconut palms did not exist anywhere in the Caribbean. Now they're everywhere. In fact, this beach is nearly a monoculture along the shore of non-native coconut palms. They were likely introduced in the 1600s by European colonists, and they were brought in from where they're native to, which is Southeast Asia, and brought in for mainly economic reasons: agriculture, coconut oil, coconut fruit, the juice, fibers, etc. They're also widely planted as ornamentals even today, and now they are naturalized and even considered somewhat invasive across the rest of the world, including here in Puerto Rico and in other parts of the Caribbean. They are beautiful, they're here to stay, but they are a symbol of impact on the landscape by humans and by European colonists. Still, it's peaceful to see them at the beach, and I'm certainly enjoying it. Alex Palmer loves palm trees. Well, not bad for my first beach outing of the trip. I'm a little bit wet because I didn't bring my raincoat, and it was on and off showers, but smelled wonderful with that tropical rain. I'm going to start driving back on the bumpy road and see what other cool spots I can check out. On the way back to my hotel, I stopped by a small park to witness one of the largest and oldest Ceiba trees, a common tree species in the tropics. This tree was nearly 450 years old and survived Hurricane Maria in 2017. Well, good morning. I'm back in my Jeep. I'm about to head out and do some hiking at a trail that goes up on the top of a small mountain. It's supposed to have a fantastic view. I hear mosquitoes buzzing in my Jeep, but don't worry, I've got bug spray on. And then later, I'm going to do some snorkeling. Can't wait to see what I can find. Here I go. I'm off. Que hermoso! Puerto Rico never ceases to impress me. I'm at the top of Monte Pirata, and as you can see behind me, there's a palm tree. That is a native palm in the genus Cocothrinax. And I'll show a little up-close view here, but it has fan-shaped leaves. It grows on the hills here. Is remarkably different, of course, from coconut palms that have the feather-shaped fronds. These have palmate or fan-shaped fronds, and they grow much more loosely and scattered, not like in the dense clusters on the coast like coconut palms. Beautiful native species. Beautiful day to be up here. Well, what an incredible day. I'm relaxing back at my hotel, seeing the stars and the moon at night. The breeze is balmy. And tomorrow's the big day. I'm going to do some snorkeling and more beach exploration, and then a nighttime kayak tour. Till then, I'm going to get some rest and relax. It's good to be alone on an island. Well, after a long day of exploring the area around Esperanza on the south side of Vieques Island, I'm about to do the famous Biobay tour. Don't know what kind of videography I'm going to get, but there's a bay that glows at night when you move the water, and it's because of a zooplankton, a dioflagellate, that has a light-producing chemicals. So I'm really excited. I'm just going to hang out and watch the sunset until it's time to walk over to the shop. Mosquito Bay is the world's best spot to witness nature's magic. Bioluminescent zooplankton, tiny animals in the water that glow with the movement of the water, can be witnessed only on guided tours at night with local outfitters. Que increíble! What an incredible day. I am exhausted, kayaking, snorkeling, hiking, swimming. Got one more day tomorrow. I'm going to try to hit up a couple more beaches and do snorkeling one more time. I got some new snorkeling goggles, which are going to help me see things better. Oh, I am exhausted. Que hermosa. Found a nice little resting spot at Playa Negra. It's a mix of native and non-native plants. Mangroves being one of the more dominant ones, and of course a lot of coconut palms that pop up. So I'm going to catch some shade, drink some water, and relax for a little bit. Starting to realize about Puerto Rico is that in terms of its topography, it's very much like the California coast. It's as if you took the California coast and made it tropical and humid. It's rugged, it's beautiful, and it's very, very lush and very warm and humid. Beautiful, muy impresionante, very impressive. So the forest that I'm walking through on this cliff on the Tipone Bay Trail is dominated by one of 3 species of mangroves, plus scatterings of other shrubs, as well as these thatch palms that are kind of everywhere. So it's really interesting that it's a forest of shrubs growing out of rock, made of, looks like coral and maybe something volcanic, not entirely sure. There's not much shade, but there's a nice breeze going. It is a very unique landscape. Can't wait to see some of the views as we go further down the trail. What an amazing trail. I suppose I can't do a video about the ecology of the Caribbean without giving an honorable mention to mangroves. Mangroves are these trees that you see right here that have these extensive buttresses of roots that are very exposed, and they grow along the coastlines and can grow in pure salt water. They help buffer the island from the fierce storms and hurricanes. They filter the water, provide habitat for fish, and do so much more for the local ecosystem. There's 3 species of mangroves. The ones you see behind me are likely the red mangroves that are the ones often growing in the water. And then as you move up shore, up into the uplands, you'll get the black mangroves and the white mangroves. So lots of mangroves, very important keystone plant species across southern Florida, the Bahamas, and the Caribbean, as well as many other parts of the tropical and subtropical coastal areas across the world. All right, that beach was beautiful, awesome. There was nobody. Now I'm taking the connector trail over to Pirates Cove. It's supposed to be a beautiful overlook. Got to get through this palm jungle first. Let's see how it goes. Global problems that we have in the world is pollution of plastic, and that's very visible on the beaches in Puerto Rico. Now you can see right here there's a pile of plastic bottles that someone collected and placed off to the side. Now most of the beaches that I've been to in Puerto Rico are exceptionally clean, so most likely these bottles were washed up on shore. This is a global problem that's not unique to the Caribbean or Puerto Rico or just third world countries, but these plastic bottles can come from just about anywhere, and across the world it's a problem. So the best thing we can do for now is advocate for more sustainable food packaging when possible, and if you can foot the extra bill, try to buy products in containers that aren't made of plastic. Advocate to your local leaders for policies that restrict single-use plastics. For now, we've got a growing problem with plastic bottles that we're gonna see even on this remote beach, Pirates Cove, where I am right now. All right, gotta check out another beach. This one's gonna be fairly unique. Playa Negra has black sand due to some of the geologic history of the island having past volcanic activity. So it's expected to see a mixture of the typical white sand that you think of on Caribbean beaches and mixed in with some of that eroded volcanic material. So here we go, Playa Negra. Now, one thing about the walk to get to this beach, it's a little longer than other beaches, and for most people it's kind of annoying to have to walk far and get to the beach. But for a naturalist that's outside his ecoregion, the walk goes through lush forest, there's birds. I'm gonna take my time, see what I can see. It's really, really exciting to me. So you houseplant lovers might recognize a plant along this trail that I'm taking back from Playa Negra. Snake plant. It grows wild here, but it doesn't belong here. It's an invasive species here that likely escaped cultivation. It's a reminder that whether you're in a cold climate like Cleveland or a tropical warm climate like Puerto Rico, it's good to plant plants that are native, especially on an island habitat. Things are a lot more vulnerable to exotic species invasion. So there we have it, your common house plant growing outside, and plentifully so, here in Vieques, Puerto Rico. I just heard that the tide is coming in, so this will be a short visit, but totally worth it. Very, very impressive, very beautiful, and very unique from other beaches that I've seen on the island of Vieques. Well, it's early in the morning and it's time to leave the island of Vieques and return to the mainland of Puerto Rico and head to San Juan for one night. Before heading back to Cleveland, I'm definitely going to leave a piece of my heart on this beautiful island with its beautiful beaches and birds and wildlife and gorgeous scenery. Adios, Vieques.